Hi again. Here we go. We're going to do number 2, Musette from Suzuki Book 2. And I'm going to demonstrate on the violin and then I'll play through on the viola this time. So I'll alternate back and forth, but everything is the same. All right, so Musette, song number 2, written by Mr. Bach, J.S. Bach. For the violins, it has 2 sharps in it, so fat and cats. For violas, it only has 1, so fat, which means you will have high 2s on your D string. You will have, for violins, you'll also have high 2s on your A string, but you will not have them on your E string, your top string. Violas, you will have a high 2 on your low 2 strings because those are naturally natural. You'll have a high 2 on your D string. You'll have a squishy 2 on your A string. All right. This one is a little tricky because it bounces around a lot. There are places where it's stepwise motion. There are places where it hops. And those are the places I would recommend for you to write in any notes. Okay? It does start with a push bow or an up bow, so you're going upwards towards the ceiling. As long as you follow all of the other bowings in here, follow any slurs that are marked, that will help you. Everything will work out correctly. If you miss a slur in here, that's not the biggest problem right at this point. Okay, so for violins, we're starting on an A. Violas would start on an open D. Okay, I'm going to play the first line for you. Musette, song number 2. All right, so you'll notice we have kind of a pattern with our rhythm at the beginning. We've got this. So we've got a long note followed by 2 short notes, or quarter note with 2 eighth notes. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, like that. Okay, that does not continue for the entire line, but it does it at the beginning. Now, I actually want to do something weird, and I want to hop down to the last line, skip the half note that's right at the very beginning of the last line, start on the second note. Okay, so we're on the last line, the second note. And I want you to listen to it and tell me if you don't have to tell me, but you've got to think about if you recognize this. So we're on the last line of song number 2, second note. All right, so hopefully you recognized that starts off the same as the first line. So it's almost a sandwich song, just like the chorus from Judas Maccabeus was, but it changes a little bit at the end. So at the end, you may look at this and you see 4 notes that are hooked together. You may think that they are 16th notes, but they are actually not. There's only 1 line that connects them. So they're 8th notes. So it's like 2 groups of twins hooked together. So each group of 2 equals 1 beat. So it's 2 beats in each one of those groups of 4. Now it looks a little tricky because you have to cross strings. It looks a little tricky because you have 4 notes in 1 bow. We can leave out the slurs to start. And I just want to point out what makes it not tricky. Okay, so it seems like it's tricky because you start on E string or A string if you're viola, and you come over to the A string. Okay, but I want you to listen to those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th notes. 2, 3, 0. All right, when you get to the second group of 4 notes, it's this. So I have that 2, 3, 0 again. And then the last group of 4 notes, 2, 3, 0. So actually the only difference is that you have a different first note. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th note of each group are the same. It is difficult to do it quickly, and it is difficult to do it with the slurs because you're crossing strings. So I would start it without the slurs and then add them in. And I would break it down into groups of 4 notes. All right, so now we've talked about the first line and the last line. Let's go back up to the second line of this piece. The second line of this piece, it starts a little bit tricky, and then at the very end of the line, it gets super easy, okay? So if you're a little intimidated by this piece, wait till you get to the end, okay? So we go up high, 3 fingers on your highest string. Add your 4. You have to make sure that your wrist is not bent or else you won't be able to reach that 4. Squishy 2. Squishy 2 again. Remember when I said it was easy? Here you go. 1, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0, E. Awesome. So it wasn't so hard after all. So now we're on the third line. The third line bops around a bit, and then it is all stepwise motion at the end. Stepwise motion means you either go 1 note higher, 1 note lower. So you're not skipping any notes anywhere. And that tends to be a little bit easier for us. Okay. I'm going to start on the third line, the second note. Okay. It's on your top string. Oh, I'm sorry. Second note. Ready? And. Four fingers stretch. Squishy. Now, every note from here touches the next note. So 2, 1, 0, 3 on the lower string, higher string, 1, 2, 1, 0, 3 on the lower string, 2, 3, higher string, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Now, I don't expect you to do that in 6 minutes, but hopefully that explains the hard stuff. So here's my viola again, and I'm going to play straight through Musette, which is song number 2, book number 2. All right. And it works for viola and for violin. All right. So I'm going to start with a push bow, and I'm going to try to follow all of the bowings that are marked in the book. All right. Here we go. I'm not doing the repeat at the end of the first line. I'm not doing the repeat at the end of the song. Here we go. Ready? Musette. Stretch your 4. Squishy. Squishy. Easy part, 1, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0, 3, 0. Now this is tricky. 4, 1, 2, 1, 0. Your groups of 4 here.